And we are live. Hello, friends. Welcome back after
Hello, hello.
very
Hello,
long,
hello.
very long 3 weeks without Formula One. It felt like this time, no? Uh,
Totally.
and what a nice weekend we got. Just to first of all, please smash a like if you are here, so that you do all the algorithm things, and then more people will be shown the thing. Couple of things. So obviously, Rohan Joshi, out of just complete sadness of how badly his Gridmaster weekend went, I think has decided he wants no part of this podcast anymore. But no, Rohan is busy with travel and had a few work things, and Aditya Bhatt also, I think, in stuck in meetings today. But we are here. It doesn't matter. By also, I should say that I received my Gridmaster merch.
Oh, ho, ho,
Whoa.
ho.
We
Yes,
got the order of the name wrong. It's actually Fernando Alonso.
Alonso Fernando. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's the
Very
Renault.
cool.
It's a Renault 2005 2006 championship T-shirt.
Oh, like a classic.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn good.
So
Wow.
pretty cool. I got this
Yeah.
because I was in the top 10 for the last week. What happened this week, I haven't
Ready
shared with
guy.
anyone, but we will see. And where do we begin? I think there was so much that
What a
happened.
great weekend, yeah. Come on.
So
Like, what a
much.
great weekend.
I think
Yeah.
for Sherry, it'll be a little bit of catching up on the fly because I think Sherry
Yeah,
just watched the race and didn't get to
I
see.
have just watched the race.
You
I
only
haven't
watched
watched the
one of
rest.
Lewis's failures.
Yeah, I saw a lot of mini clips on social media and I was like, okay, it was a good weekend to miss. No,
uh,
I mean the race was amazing, but like overall, I think it was a good weekend. I was just catching up on everything on Instagram while I was traveling, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
there's FOMO. And then I got back and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, watching the highlights.
But can you do that? Like, so for me, I fully switch off from social media. I come back home. I like
I
stay
can't.
away from the phone completely. I'll watch my race and then I'll go back to social media.
I mean, if I'm here, yeah, and if it's the immediate like couple of hours, then yeah. But otherwise, it's damn tough, yeah. When you're posting there, also the minute you open
Ha,
something comes
that's
and you're like,
true.
no, don't show me, don't show me. But
Yeah,
then you've seen it and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
today, obviously, when I sat and watched, I was like, I've seen this part, I've seen this part, but obviously not all together. So I
Yeah.
think it's very tough, yeah, to avoid it.
This we should petition to these social media platforms. Like, give us one set of like things that we
Yeah,
can
like you
just
can
put together,
ban.
and then we
Yeah.
don't want to see it for a while. This Twitter
That's
used to have
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
lists, no, at one point.
Yeah, but that's actually a great idea. They should do it
Come
because
on.
I think for like all sporting
Yeah.
events, like, if you missed it, if you
Yeah.
missed something or whatever, immediately but if you want to catch
And
up, then
even if you watch it late, it's actually really annoying. I mean, I used to love F1 TV because you can watch from the start even 15 minutes
yes.
late,
Yeah.
right? Like on
And the
Yeah.
TV, we
thumbnails
had to
don't have
be in.
spoilers.
Yes.
Yeah,
F1 TV
yeah.
thumbnails don't have
But then the
spoilers.
screw
Yeah.
up is you can't look at your social media till the race is over
Which is
because the
great.
Yeah.
spoilers are so
Yeah.
fast that
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm saying, beach me also if there's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I
As the
wish
only
there was
non-creator
something.
here, I have no such
Exactly.
issues.
No, no, same.
I
Even
can
I am
tune out.
non-creator only. I am very clearly non-creator for sporting events. Like I give up that side of my life entirely.
Yeah, yeah,
It's right. The F1 TV thumbnail also no spoiler. Like I, in
Yeah.
fact, sit and wonder
yeah.
कि ये क्या हुआ?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
significance, if any,
Experience is
does
this.
this
Yeah,
thumbnail
yeah,
have?
yeah. Yeah, so you
Um,
can't even open YouTube. You can't do anything. Like
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like
the screw
everything is
up.
off.
Your
Yeah,
everything is gone. So if you're traveling
yeah.
or something, there's no escape because दो तीन
It's
दिन
damn
में तो
difficult.
you will see something or the other. Yeah.
yeah, that
It's
is
damn
true.
difficult.
But no, it was
Yeah,
great. I think let's start with
but
sprint
great weekend.
quali.
Yeah,
Was also it looked like,
interesting.
yeah, looked for all the world that Verstappen's back and it's going to be max
Yeah,
domination all over again.
yeah.
With the sprint also sort of looked like that. With
Totally looked like that. And what a great, like, this was the first time when a sprint wasn't the sort of baby version of the race.
yeah,
Like the sprint was its own story
yeah,
and the race was its own story as well. Like it wasn't like, jo bhi sprint mein hua, we saw the same thing again. So it was also like that way a really good contrast and set us up thinking that, this is Max's to
yeah,
lose. But then obviously, we'll talk about Ferrari, we'll talk about Norris and everything.
yeah.
But yeah, that whole idea of the sprint being just like, oh, okay, whatever happens in the sprint is going to happen in the race. You're just going to see that.
Yeah.
But I also think that's credit to COTA. as a circuit
Such a
as
good
well.
circuit, man.
What a great circuit, right? Like, I mean, it looks like a Musk circuit, that whole climb into turn one, everything coming down, the S's,
And
everything
non-DRS overtaking zones. That's the best part.
like that into that.
Oh, every time,
Oh,
dude.
so good.
Just so in the sprint race, it was
Yes.
Sainz
Yeah.
and Leclerc going at it like crazy
What a
people for 3
battle.
laps. Yeah.
What a battle. Like into that, the turn before your big right-hander, that multi-apex right-hander, the hairpin. What a fantastic, feature to have. My only gripe, I would say, is that with COTA, that the runoff areas, and we will talk about runoff
Hmm.
areas
Yes.
because they have much consequence in
Yes.
this race
Lots.
or whatever. Too much runoff area. But thoda, do the Austria thing that they've started doing,
Yeah.
where they've done the baby
Gravel.
sort
Yeah.
of gravel
Yeah,
traps and
yeah.
everything. I do that or something because the runoff is giving too much room for doubt. And I suppose we'll talk about that too. Room
Yeah,
for doubt.
the Mercedes got very intimate with the the gravel. I don't think they
No.
want gravel anywhere. But for me, I thought I loved like Carlos's aggression, like especially in the sprint race, like the proper like driver
Superb.
who knows he's got 5 races to enjoy a good car before he goes to
Superb.
shitbox Williams, and
It was very good.
very very good. And but again, don't you think Norris like bottling it on the start?
This whole weekend is indicative of what, like, really encapsulated all the shit that we've been thinking about Norris, which is essentially, dude is a good driver, but just
Yeah.
doesn't have the world champion mindset. Like, even whether it is the braking error in the sprint up
Yeah.
into turn one that allows Carlos then to get by,
Yeah.
or it is the botched start once again, the whatever, not being able to make a clean overtaking move on Max, like this. I think the world championship is gone. Like, unless
I
something
mean, you never
crazy
know. It's
happens.
one DNF is all we've always
Yeah, it's just
I
maintained.
one
actually have a
DNF.
crazy theory that I'll talk about later in the podcast. I have a
Oh.
crazy
Okay, I
theory
just need
that
to
I
get the
feel
door.
like,
I'll be back
yeah,
in a sec.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, what do you think, Sherry, about the whole Lando
I mean, I
situation?
definitely feel like it's the pressure's getting to him for sure. And we've discussed this
Yeah.
a lot, that he just doesn't have that like world championship mental strength that you need to kind of pull through something like this.
Yeah.
And I feel like that maturity is lacking, and it shows because you can see it in his driving. Sadly, unfortunately, it's out there. And it's like, oh, another one. Oh, and like,
Yeah.
every time
The
you give him
litany of
like
errors.
a
Yeah.
little bit of credit for doing something right, he does two things wrong. And I think that's the unfortunate part, where in this situation where he's just not able to crack it, like even with a great car, with everything,
Yeah.
like that overtake, the penalty, all of that was just like, I was like, what, at this point, like this is not what you
Yeah, your world
expect.
championship needs right now.
Yeah,
Either.
exactly. So I think sadly, I mean, yeah, anything can happen, and I'm still hoping for that anything to happen, because I'm just like, we need
Yeah.
more
Hmm.
excitement. But I agree with you there. He's just not showing that mental maturity and that level of that world champion level of like, yeah, I
Yeah.
can crack this at this point.
But
And
who
he's been,
people in
yeah.
chat? Sorry, just to
Sorry.
on the same
Yeah.
topic. I'm assuming we're still talking about Norris.
Yes, we
But people in the chat are saying Alan Prost said something about Norris.
Fairly
What did he
nasty
say?
about him. Yeah. Saying that basically, if you put Lewis in the same car,
Hmm.
then Lewis in this car is winning the 2024 World Drivers' Championship.
Yeah.
But Lando, for him to win, needs a significant car advantage, team orders, all of this, and he will probably still lose, is what
Oof,
Alan
that's
Prost said. Yeah,
that's quite brutal.
brutal.
Yeah.
That's very brutal. But also, look, the evidence is, fairly
But
straightforward.
that's there, right? I mean, I don't deny what he's saying. I mean, not just Lewis, but you put a Max in the car, in this car as well. Like,
Yeah.
they'll get the job done, is what I'm saying. Like, we have
And
that
Lando's
maturity.
experienced enough. I feel like,
Yeah.
he's been in the sport long enough. I was actually thinking about this, and I feel like the comparison that we are seeing of Lando right now is kind of Nico Rosberg second, third year in Mercedes.
Hmm.
Like wherein in the 2014-2015 World Championships, Lewis and Nico were battling, but Lewis always had the upper hand or whatever. And then you could tell it on track as well that the dominant player here is Lewis. And then 2016, he had to really think out of the box, which is what I'm thinking that Lando now has to sort of start really like, going that almost, holy shit, this is a one or nothing sort of thing to get that edge, because the quality level of Max is so high that, Max's defensive driving was spectacular.
Superb.
Superb throughout. Whatever you say, like he's operating at a level that's so high that Lando now needs to like really, really like sort of make something crazy happen, almost Nico Rosberg 2016 style, and count on a little bit of luck as well for this to happen, which on the evidence of 2024 COTA, I don't see it happening.
I mean, it's looking difficult for sure.
Yeah, it's looking
and
damn
also, I
difficult.
think even if it happens, I feel like somewhere people are going to be like, oh, he didn't deserve it, or there was team orders, and there was, like you're saying, that it just happened because Max was having a shitty season. Very similar to Max's first win. As in, you know what I mean? Like there's going to be a gray area is what I'm saying.
It's very rare it's very rare that you win a title because everybody else was shit. I think you win a title
exactly.
because you deserve to win the title.
You were the
it
best.
just kind of feels like if he does win it, it's gonna be like what landed in his lap kind of situation.
Somehow, it is true actually at this point in time.
But since you mentioned, like you're talking about the defensive drive from Max, and that's like, those are the hallmarks of champions. We've seen a Lewis do that before. We've seen a Leclerc do that before. We've seen Piastri do it a couple of races ago, right? And these are the kind of drives that I think set them apart. So, I would say even a Nico Rosberg has like soaked up that pressure and done it. So maybe the wrong comparison, I would say, and maybe this might be I don't think it's insulting because it's also a good driver, but I think Norris is more comparable to a Bottas in the sense that you give him a good car, he'll do well, he'll come that second, third, he'll win a few races here and there, but he'll threaten to win a title, but he's not actually, he doesn't have that killer instinct that we talk about, that final X factor.
The only thing is that I feel like the quality, like if you're just evaluating it on the barometer of quality, I feel like Lando sits slightly above Bottas in outright quality, because we've seen him have some great drives as well. Obviously, you're only, in the sort of goldfish memory era of F1 now with social and everything. Like, it's like, okay, this last race was very, not really great or whatever, but we have seen him do some like outright, really elite level of things, but not at that consistent level that you require, not at that like, oh shit, every race,
and not under pressure. I think he crumbles when there's pressure. That's the
pressure
problem.
Yes, exactly.
He's just not, unfortunately he can't crack it with pressure, like, which is sad, because you see even an Oscar does so well under pressure, and we are like, so there's a constant
so it's binary,
comparison.
No? It's dominant drive, 20-second victory or nothing.
And it's almost like we're surprised, right? Like when he does well under pressure, also we are like, oh, today he managed it. Like it's such a
whereas with like a Shal, like there'll be people in the chat or people will be like, "See, I told you he's champion driver. I told you he's going to win." Right?
Yeah.
It's
though on the Max defensive driving bit, and I think that was really like through the weekend. Okay, and he's gotten so much better at this aspect of driving. Okay, which is he knows where the line is.
Exactly.
He knows that line is there. Okay. And he gets as close to that line as possible. He is like, he knows that there's this like tiny 1 millimeter of gray area that is there. And his operating window makes that 1 millimeter into 1 kilometer for all he cares. Like he's like, I'm not going to lock up into these breaking points. I'm not going to, behave erratically in terms of like, like say, for example, Lando did one really weird braking into turn 1, which was kind of late and everything. You're like, क्या हो रहा है यार इधर?
Reminiscent of early Max, actually.
Yes, reminiscent of
Yeah.
early Max or whatever, but like he's now like nailed this gray area point. Like he's that guy, like, you're like, you have to stand behind this line.
Yeah.
So he will stand right at that line. He will put his arm ahead of that line and he'll be like, no, but look at my feet. They are behind the line.
Yeah.
He's
the guy in the airport security line who's just behind you but not touching.
Like not touching. He's right
It's
there,
it's the meditation, guys.
yeah. He nailed it, and this race was like a very great like example of how to do that and how to really
Also,
sort of maintain your
I feel like
position.
his whole mind game strategy has become very strong. I mean, as a driver,
It's
credit
totally
to
working
him
on
there.
Norris.
Like, I feel like the way he plays games when he knows someone is struggling under pressure,
Totally.
and it works on the guy behind. Like, obviously the
For
senior
sure.
drivers know his game and they're like,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
we're not taking this. But like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like when he sees, like, it's like when when a dog knows someone is scared of them and they will purposely
yeah.
act up just to scare you.
Exactly.
It's that mentality where he knows and he's like, okay, I'm gonna toy with you because I know you're going to be afraid. Like, and you're gonna
It's
mess
like
up.
it's like Alonso, but now he tried to do it with Liam Lawson this week in a smaller, in a not good car, and then it's
By
just
far the
very
battle
sad.
of the season so far. Liam Lawson versus Alonso, a battle you never saw coming.
And Lawson
Yeah.
winning it, which is even
And
better.
Lawson winning it both in the sprint and in the race. Too good. Yeah. Lawson, I mean, like, credit, like, we should talk about obviously the rookies' performances and everything, but Lawson, obviously, a standout in the race and, had all that confidence that we've seen him have, even better than, say, Yuki. Yuki actually had a shit race.
And
Yuki
Perez.
had a terrible race.
He was
yeah.
he was the
Perez.
best out of all
Yeah.
the
All the other-
if you look at the 4 drivers who wanted to
Yeah,
fill that, who were there on the grid, who wanted to fill
Grid.
that second place, which is Gasly, Perez, Yuki, and this guy. The guy who in his first race back is like,
exactly.
hey, I am better than all of you guys. Sorry.
Yeah. Danny Rick, who? Everybody's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, but also I suppose it shows that you can't be emotional at all in the sport, right? Where Danny Rick out, immediately this guy comes in, gets a result. Logan Sargent, chalo, however you want to be like, he'll feel bad, his
Whatever.
career will
Yeah,
end, whatever.
yeah.
But
Nothing,
Franco comes
nothing.
in and straight up
Yeah.
outperforming Albon.
Franco has me questioning whether Albon is a good driver or not. Like, I'm like, I thought Albon was a good driver, guys. Like, we put him on such a pedestal or whatever, and now you're like, is he actually
Now
shit?
imagine if they're gonna have a conversation with Albon saying, guys, science is coming, but would you like to go? Oh shit, we are the junior team. We can't send you to the junior team. Would you like to go to Mercedes?
Yeah, exactly. Shit.
But the Mercedes is still, we don't know what's happening final. Nah, I mean, Antonelli is still sort of front runner, but is it confirmed?
Oh, it's final underscore
they
final.
announced
Oh, it's
now.
final. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
That
correct.
Italy
After the Monza.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
After Monza
After
itself, it
his
was...
Sorry.
crash, they were like, we have confidence.
Too much
in
has
it.
happened in Formula One.
What is happening to Mercedes, yaar? What happened?
It's just a shit weekend.
What was this? Like, it was, and actually Russell qualified P2 in the sprint and everything. It just went backwards, and Lewis, like you saw his post-race or post-session pressers and everything. He looked forlorn. I was
and
like,
also his COTA record is so good, and this was just like
it's
disastrous.
one of the best.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
But also COTA, insane.
Yeah.
Sorry, just the insane stat that 6 years, 6 different winners also at COTA.
Yeah.
Damn good. Yeah, superb. Yeah, exactly. What a great racetrack is turning out to be, and what a great racetrack it has been for Lewis. But like, that almost carbon copy of what happened to George Russell happened to him at that same corner or whatever. And he exits the race despite having a great start, actually. If you see the start, his start was
he
like
got
damn
like
good.
5 places or 6 places
at the start or whatever. Yeah, it was damn good. But the car, something seems off.
I think
But
he's
he must
done.
be licking his lips right now.
Yeah.
So he's like, look at these Ferrari guys.
Exactly.
They seem to have it figured out.
So eventually he's clearly made the right decision.
I think so. Yeah,
Again, once
definitely.
again, seeming like the right career
Changes every
decision.
2 weeks. No,
Yeah, changes every 2 weeks. Probably going to change in 1 week.
that's. I think that's just
Do we see
Ferrari in
some?
a nutshell. Yes,
We
we
got
should
a
look
few
at. Yeah, I'll have a look at the
Super
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 chats.
chats.
Yes, we
Yeah.
had Abhishek Verma saying, Azim bhai, ye Kola Pinto ekdam mast aadmi hai. Albon's days of stat padding are over. Can't wait for Kola Pinto and Science to send him back to Chinese F4.
Too good.
Oh no, that's no way to talk about to Super
Brutal.
Formula.
Abhishek Verma, you basically articulated what we said, but much better.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. And you paid for it also. Amazing.
Yeah.
You are paid driver in this podcast. Abhishek Verma says also well done Lawson,
Well
very
done,
tasty battle
very
with
tasty battle.
Alonso.
Yes,
Yeah, mind
definitely.
battle and track battle. I think both won by him.
Totally, yeah.
Um,
Alonso, like he was like, this guy is like, what did he say? Overrated or
Something he
Alpha
said. Now I missed
He
that.
said
What he
something.
said.
Yeah, he said something.
Chat
Alpha
mein, can anyone
Tauri
say
is
the
shit.
exact words in chat? Can anyone put it there?
What salty uncle said.
Yeah. Listen, I chose a bad week to be wearing the t-shirt because even I was like, क्यों ऐसा बच्चे के साथ पंगा ले
बच्चे के
रहे हैं
साथ,
यार?
yeah,
चला ना अपना
exactly,
गाड़ी.
बस तो स्ट्रोल के आगे है ना, बस
Yeah,
ठीक है.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's the problem was कि वो stroll के आगे नहीं था at one
अच्छा,
point.
yeah, at that point, yeah.
Dhruv Bhatia says huge probability that Max wins the
Yeah.
drivers' championship and Red Bull are third in constructors.
Totally.
I doubt
It
if
looks
that's
like
ever happened, and he's a class apart.
That's going to be wild.
100%. Yeah.
No, again,
sure.
this Perez, yeah. How can you be like straight up 7/10 slower? So, like, how can that
Yeah.
drop off be so much? I don't understand.
And also in the race, you have the fucking fastest car or one of the fastest cars. He took ages to get past Franco. He took ages to get past,
He's just
all the
admiring
basic
Franco.
midfield.
Arey, wow, he drives so well.
I'm telling you, I think he's done. I feel like all this is just a front that they are putting up where they are like, we'll give you till the end of the season.
I
and
think
we
they
aren't
give
gonna
him till
say
Mexico. Like
anything.
they have to keep him till
No,
Mexico.
as in they've told him we'll keep
till
you
24.
till 24, but we won't announce it and whatever. But he's done otherwise, so he's also lost interest.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
looking more and more likely. I've seen him
Because-
it also being discussed more openly.
Yeah. And
Like,
also,
that's like
right
a-
now, also there was an article now that Honda is pressurizing them to put Yuki in a Red Bull seat and all of that. Now, if all this news is out there, there has
And
to be
Lawson
some.
is driving so amazingly.
Lawson.
Yeah.
So there has to be some fuel, na? Idhar se kahan se aa raha hai sab? I mean,
Yeah,
like if he's so
100%.
solid in his seat, so shit in like performance, then
Yeah.
like where is all this coming from?
Yeah. I see also a little bit of smoke is there, and where like there is a little bit of smoke, there has
There's
to be this thing.
definitely, exactly.
And the performances are not backing it up. So then what are you going to
Yeah.
how do you even justify
Like, what
it?
is the basis
Yeah.
that he's got this seat? I mean, for
Yeah, at
that
this
long
point.
then.
Yeah.
But so people in the chat, broadly speaking, saying that Alonso said that Lawson is fighting for his career and not him. And he said that
No, he said he's
no,
an
and he
idiot.
said
Yeah.
no, he said he's an idiot, and apparently this is
Yeah.
true. That he
Yeah.
said that he's deliberately going to try and ruin Lawson's race, and then Lawson
Huh?
had some coming together with him and said on the radio that he's doing exactly what he said he would.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why this
exactly.
unnecessary panga?
Yeah, वो बच्चा है यार. Like he was not even born when you started racing, like that kind of. Or was he? Like whatever.
And
Like,
as Chuffmeister in chat says, meanwhile Sonoda be like, how did this happen? Which was so
Yeah,
funny.
exactly.
That moment on the radio.
My dream situation, guys, would be now after all this, if it's a disastrous season and Max leaves in a huff and puff and they tell him you come to us and we'll send salty uncle packing and
Oh, so
just-
Alonso to Red
just-
Bull.
No, Alonso's gone.
Alonso to
They're
Red
like,
Bull. Oh,
ho
wow.
gaya. They're like,
Okay.
salty
No,
uncle
he's-
ho gaya, bye.
He's constantly outperforming Lance. So I don't think.
No,
there
but
is
if you think
any-
if they have a
yeah.
chance of getting Lance is not going anywhere, na? Daddy's
Yeah,
already
that's
we've
true.
decided that.
That's
So if
true,
there's a
yeah.
chance of getting anyone better, then it's
Mm.
Lance or Chance, दोनों पे dance. All right. Abhishek
Hit that
Verma.
like button, guys.
Abhishek Verma is
Yeah.
carrying, guys. Abhishek Verma is literally carrying the entire super chat
Super chat. Oh,
of
wow.
F1. Guys, please take some of the burden off him. Don't be Perez's to Abhishek Verma's Verstappen. Please do some of the lifting. Daniel getting let go was pure politics by Red Bull, considering he was performing better than Checo and Yuki since China. Checo should have been booted out, but Carlos Slim stopped the mid-season sacking of Checo. Yeah, it does seem like it's a lot of people have said
Yeah.
it's like money related and sponsor related and
Sponsor related.
yeah.
No,
Must
sponsor
be
related
something.
for sure. We heard there were Red Bull stats now about Perez and that he brings in this much
Questionable
money
stats,
and
but
so
like,
much.
yeah, I'm sure
Yeah,
there is
yeah. I
lots
mean,
of money involved. For
there
sure.
can't be any
Yeah.
other reason. I mean, I don't see
Yeah.
why else this
Oh
would.
yeah, not on pure performance. It's definitely
Yeah.
not on pure performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Yuki and Honda, we've always known that has always been like one of their
Yeah.
things that they wanted a driver,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the grid
Yeah,
and stuff.
but it's not
So,
Honda anymore now, no? It's
No,
the Red Bull
right, Red
powertrains.
Bull.
yeah.
Yeah, but then again, Abhishek Verma says Forza Ferrari Lando is such a bottler. Max has really outdriven that car and shown his class. Really enjoying the Red Bull racing. RBR and VCAB hate watch as a Daniel fan.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe that's what it is. Maybe Alonso is just a Daniel fan and he's like, fuck this guy, I want Danny Rick back. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's not salty uncle, but he's vengeful friend.
Danny Rick's best
Vengeful.
friend.
I will revenge my friend.
No. Yeah,
All
but
the
like, what
time
can
you have to
say,
leave the
Abhishek?
space.
Like, I agree with you that like Max has outdriven his car and everything, but like Danny Rick on outright performance, I don't know if it was that clear between Danny Rick and Checo. Like, you could say that he was sort of there or thereabouts with Yuki, but
I mean, all three of them, to be fair, were not doing anything great.
But guys,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a petition. Guys. Drive to Survive season finale. We do one literal Drive to Survive where we have
They all
four
drive
Red
and,
Bull cars. And it's full
One Boston
obstacle
lives,
course,
Hunger
Ring of
Games.
Fire. Yeah, literally.
Mad Max Fury Road meets
Yeah.
Hunger Games. Yeah,
Literally,
yeah,
Mad
yeah.
Max Fury
Mad
Road only.
Max,
Just-
yeah, of course. Yeah,
and Max is there to just take them out.
yeah.
yeah.
Like
It's-
he's just
it's
sworn
like-
into.
It's like Big
Alonso
Boss.
is that dude playing the guitar on that big giant speaker, the flames coming out and everything.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
like, मेरा दोस्त को कुछ नहीं बोलने का.
Yeah.
With Danny Rick on his side. It's like Big Boss, but we'll call it Mad Max. So it's
Mad
like
Max, yeah,
he comes in.
exactly,
Mad Max चाहते हैं कि आप inside of corner से overtake करें.
हाँ, मगर lead at the apex. Yeah.
Yes, lead at the
And
apex.
Lead at the-
Max's
yeah.
car has spikes on the side and everything. So he
Yeah,
just mows one down once tire's gone.
Guys, make it happen.
Oh, it will
Netflix,
happen.
क्या कर
Come
रहे हो
on.
तुम लोग? Nobody
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
your interview series with Will Buxton.
Yeah,
This is what we
Will
want.
Buxton. Yeah.
Give
Let Will
the
Buxton
fans-
commentate on this.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Will Buxton, what do you have to say? Please comment because Amanat is editing a reel of this as we speak right now.
Hey, speaking of reels, our Instagram is blowing up, you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Guys, follow us
hello,
on
people who have
Instagram.
not followed us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. Some amazing reels and all are happening. Like, getting some good views and traction and everything. So
Yes.
please smash that like button on our Insta.
Yes, it is all a traction race on the circuit and off the circuit
Off
also.
the circuit as well.
Speaking
Yes,
of
exactly.
off the
Yeah.
circuit, how have we
Yeah.
done this week? What is our
We'll get to that.
what
We'll
is
get
our
to that.
score?
Oh, no,
We'll get to
no,
that.
no.
First, we need everybody to please smash a like. It's slightly earlier than normal, so we have slightly fewer viewers, but everybody else will join in and be shown the video more. If you please smash a like, and of course, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel as well and hit the notification bell icon so that you are notified whenever we go live. Pratyush Dave meanwhile says, forget the greats, even Danny Rick wins in this McLaren. What do we think? Danny
I don't
Rick
know.
in this
Like,
McLaren?
I'd say Oscar is a good comparison.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
have an Oscar there
Yeah.
and Oscar is not winning. I think the pace of the car is good, but seems to be a bit circuit specific. Like, I mean, it definitely did not like the slow corners over here. It seems like
Yeah.
a fast corner-oriented vehicle. So
But don't you think
again,
so?
Mexico might be tough as well because lots of snow corners, especially that last sector,
But then middle sector is very quota-like.
very COTA-like. Yeah, so
So this I was wondering about. So during quali, obviously we had George Russell nicely hand over the pole to his friend. But we were looking at the final laps, and Max was like I think 2/10 up on his on like Lando's or his own Lando's
yeah.
sector one time.
yeah,
And Lando was down on it, and then
Yeah,
of course
yeah,
that
yeah.
happened.
Yeah,
But still, like Lando in the press conference and everything was
Yeah.
saying, that was the greatest quali lap of my life. He actually said that in the
But I think that was for the
interviews.
first lap, right?
For the first lap, which is
first
why I'm
lap,
saying
yeah.
how can you be
Yeah.
saying that is the best lap
Yeah.
of your life
Lap of
when
your life, yeah.
Verstappen has taken 2/10 out of it in the first sector alone?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, sure, the McLaren is obviously better in the later sectors, but it's a bit
Yeah, I
like his
mean-
bar is a little low. I don't know.
Probably. And it's also sort of showing in the performances, na? Then like, okay, there is this uncertainty surrounding him. But I'd say the McLaren outright pace is obviously is there in the top three, but it fluctuates circuit to circuit. Like
Yeah.
this race, clearly the fastest car.
Yeah.
And maybe it would have articulated itself in the sprint also if
Yeah.
the infighting didn't happen, was the Ferrari, right?
Yeah.
In that first stint, Charles Leclerc looked like
Mad.
what was he driving?
Yeah.
Like what? Like,
And we thought
gap-
yeah. Sorry.
the gap kept getting bigger and bigger, and we were like, oh shit, like, okay, maybe it'll stabilize at 5 seconds. No, suddenly it's 7 seconds, it's 9 seconds, it's 10 seconds, like it was quite crazy. And
And
so
they did
clearly
say
they were
that Max was like having a problem or whatever, and they said we'll fix it during the pit stop or whatever.
yeah.
I didn't really fully buy that because all the cars behind also were as slow as him
Yeah.
only.
Exactly. Yeah, they weren't making that much progress on the
I think that
Ferraris.
is just to save face now. Okay,
Yeah.
Abhi, like problem tha, to we weren't as fast. But
So
I
then
don't
what are
think-
they doing for Checo Perez? Checo, they tell him, no, car is working perfectly fine.
It's perfectly fine. Yeah.
It's you.
Or the
You
Checo.
are the problem.
Yeah.
Ah.
But overall, and maybe I'll tell you my theory now. Okay,
now
this
tell
like
us what
weird
is your-
hypothesis that I feel
Okay.
is happening. Okay, and it like take this race. Okay, so this race was fantastic where Ferrari looks like the Red Bull team. Like they look like the Red Bull team. They look like they had great pit stops. No strategy blunders. Amazing driving from Charles Leclerc, and they have this additional amazing driver as well, Carlos Sainz, who's there. He's not a Checo.
Yeah.
He is making up the spaces. Next race is Mexico. Okay, this is a long straight down turn one. Okay, Max and Lando are pole. Max and Lando are pole and P2. Okay,
Okay.
they go into the first corner, and once again this gray area happens, but this time they take each other out.
Oof.
DNF. Charles Leclerc started P3 in this Mexico Grand Prix. Okay, he wins the race. Carlos Sainz P2. Okay, we go to Brazil. This time, Max and Lando have not qualified first and second. They've qualified third and fourth. They're at the back.
Okay.
And so they have a little bit more room. But when they go up, they tangle DNF. Guess who wins the race? Charles Leclerc. And guess who's P2? Carlos Sainz. Okay. Suddenly now, we have had a complete swing in the World Championship. With the 2 DNFs going into the last 3 races, Charles Leclerc is just 20 points behind Max Verstappen.
Oof.
And Ferrari wins the WDC. The World Constructors Championship as well.
Oof. Very tasty.
Guys,
Very tasty.
could
Come on.
this-
It
could
has
this
been
happen?
put into the universe.
It has been put into the universe, and think about it this way. Max is only racing like this with Lando.
Yeah.
Max
Being
is only
very
racing
respectful
like this
with
Lando.
everyone. Yeah.
With everybody else, he's very respectful or whatever. So he is pushing these boundaries with Lando because he feels that Lando is his nearest competitor at this point in time.
Yeah.
2 DNFs, these guys take each other out in Mexico and Brazil. We have 3 races to go, and Charles is right there with 20 points.
But I
Yeah.
don't think he's I think he's too smart for two DNFs, Max. Sadly, at this point. I mean, I love your theory,
Totally,
and
but
I'm like really rooting for it. But I just feel
yeah.
like
And like everybody's giving
unfortunately,
McLaren so much bhav and Red Bull so much
yeah.
bhav, but they're like totally like, throwing shade on
Like
Ferrari. Like
also,
if they are able to,
yeah,
here is the big if. This race was probably one of the best races Ferrari has ever had in terms of
that's
Yeah,
total
yeah.
unit.
yeah.
Fred Vasseur 10 on 10, 11 on 10, Fred Vasseur.
Superb. Yeah.
That kind of thing. But the typical Ferrari that we know when they're in those situations, there's some sort of pit stop fumble, strategies for call. Carlos and Charles are fighting throughout.
But
Whatever
that
is
was
going
Charles
on.
was
So,
feeling like
Yeah.
that only because even when he was
yeah,
whatever 10, 15 seconds ahead, he's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
don't
yeah.
put me under pressure.
Pressure from Carlos. Yeah, it's like, bhai, tu 15 seconds. Yeah, it was
But
crazy.
that's also
Yeah,
the
so
mentality of the driver saying,
yeah.
man, we have been here before and you guys have fucked it up.
Yeah,
So please
yeah.
don't do this again.
Don't fuck it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
But also,
So,
Arjun, I agree with your
yeah.
theory. If the next
Hmm.
one is messed up, I feel everyone's
Hmm.
gonna get very desperate. So
Oh,
then
yeah, totally. Yeah.
the mistakes are gonna come out
Gonna
because
happen.
everyone's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
like, we have to do this.
I
It's
mean,
make or break.
if two DNFs where Max and Lando take each other out, that's all you need for Ferrari to step into this World Championship and grab it by the horns. Like
Yeah.
that's how crazy this World Championship could end up being.
Yeah.
Having said that, it's probably Max Verstappen going to win it by like 30 points or whatever because he does not make any mistakes. You've just not seen him make a fucking lock up into a corner or something, man. Come on.
He did
Like,
lock up
dude,
little bit once. But yeah.
he did
Yeah.
little
One
Little bit
little bit.
once.
No, but and this is with him saying that, "Arey, my tires
Yeah.
are not working, my
Yeah,
brakes are
yeah.
not
Yeah,
working, my
exactly.
car is
It's like
shit."
it's like the topper
Yeah.
saying, I'm
Yeah,
not
This was
studying
Lewis
at
for
all.
10
I'm
years.
not
Yeah,
prepared.
Yeah.
I'm not prepared at all.
This was a decade of Lewis Hamilton was this only. Guys, car is damn
Like,
slow.
yeah.
Shit, 15 seconds ahead. But again,
Yeah.
smash a like, friends, if you are enjoying the streams. We will get into our sponsor segment now. Of course, wait, let me just check that I have everything set
It's
up
gonna be fuck all for
correctly.
me, yeah. Shit.
No, it's not. It's not quite so bad.
I'm
But
sure it's terrible.
But of course, this stream and this show currently is partnered with Gridmaster, which is Asia's first fantasy F1 gaming app, and it's also an all-Indian-made app. And a lot of you clearly have been signing up because I've been seeing all the referral bonuses, which we are not getting, by the way. Gridmaster guys, come on, where is our referral bonus? There's 30,000 in my wallet. Which I cannot use right now. No, but of course you can take part. Join the Go to Qatar. Is it called Go to Qatar or
Yeah.
sorry? Yes. The Qatar Grand Prix race and qualifying, the qualifying and race day off to Qatar. That's what it's called. The qualifying and race day contest. All you have to do is enter with the 100 rupee entry fee. And of course, by the way, I was also informed that we got some like little statistics at the back, which is that almost all the winners and all the people who have actually won and finished in the top 10 actually enter multiple teams. So if you are
So
you
why
are
are
allowed.
we doing that, yeah?
Because we are not allowed to do that.
We're not allowed.
We are not allowed.
Yeah. Oh,
I
damn
would
it.
also like to have some 2-3 combinations.
Yeah, I'll have like 6 combos, dude. Like,
Yeah, I'll also
Like-
put Azim Banatwala and
this
one
time,
Bazim
my team I
Banatwala.
picked was Haas, and Haas was a great team to pick this time.
Yes.
Talk about Haas.
Yeah, but the point is that if you get P1 for each weekend, the winner, and we've had I think 1 or 2 people from SidePod as well who have won, and you get the grandstand tickets for all 3 days for the Qatar Grand Prix. And for the top 10, you also get merch like this, which I won for being in the top 10. We have an internal league going on. All you have, so just and of course, before I forget, you can just use our code SidePod200 if you're new, and you get 200 rupees of credit, which means you can actually technically enter twice and enter 2 teams for 1 week and see how you go. And yeah, use our code and you will get 200 rupees off, 200 rupees credit in your account. We also have our little mini league going on. So I'll give you, wait, I should forward the thing to you all.
Yeah, since we also don't know what
I
our
always
results are.
keep it as a surprise so that everybody finds out on the stream. This is the one. Yes, I have. So last week, the state of play was that in after Singapore, we had seen a swing where Sherry Shroff was knocked off the top after a terrible weekend for Albon and Williams and 91 points. And we were at 797 with Azim Manatwala on top and Arjun S. Ravi 771, 26 point gap. And it's very much like this. It's very much like what happened in this race, with a slight consolidation of the lead, where I have got 213 points this week with my team management quota.
Rohan Joshi has just seen the stats and he's like, fuck off, don't care, Lodu, Lewis.
Yeah, Rohan Joshi, poor guy, took Albon and Hamilton and
Lewis.
Williams.
Oh.
Everybody who had the worst.
Disaster.
I think Rohan is hoping that the chat will vote for that thing that we had planned where the last person goes
Yeah.
to Qatar. As people in chat are also saying, Rohan Joshi to Chinese F4 Gridmaster. But everybody, it's quite interesting. Everybody performed exactly as per their position. So I got 213. Arjun in second got 204 with his team Kimi for life. Sherry Shroff with COTA Shota got 175. Aditya Bhatt with United States of Bhatt Tech got 163. And Rohan Joshi got 101 with Team Hojo. But as we have seen, 1 week and just one bad performance where you are outperformed by somebody else by 100, 150 points completely changes it. So for us, it's heating up. There's 2 more races for us to go, by the way. And then
Is that?
Is it just between you two now, or is there even any chance?
No. You and Aditya, I would say I still have a chance.
Are still in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rohan, I think now we'll have to call it. I
We're
think
going to have to take
no,
some
no,
risks.
no,
So
I
in the next 2
Not going to
races,
Qatar.
Yeah,
Rohan is out.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
like
hey,
I
if my theories work, which is like the Max and Norris DNFs happen in the next 2 races or whatever, and I like a moron actually do pick those guys or whatever, so does Azim, then it's anything to everybody to play for.
Then it's doomsday for us.
Yeah, but it's just right now it's just a 35 point gap at the top. Which
Everybody
is very
with
close.
Cola Pinto as the turbo driver.
Yeah, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Literally everyone. Dude,
Should we all?
dude, you won't believe I was just right until the thing was about to start, na? I had Hamilton and Cola Pinto. And something in my mind was like, no, Hamilton, no.
Yeah, but even me, because I didn't watch anything, and when I got your message saying, guys, make your predictions, because I was traveling, I didn't see anything, and I was like, okay, this is just going to be a winging it kind of prediction. And then I was like, should I go with my trusty Lewis or not? And then I was like, no, chal, I'll do something different. And then I saw everything on social media. I was like, oh, thank God.
See, but you still went with Mercedes, no? So So my strategy, what I am currently going with, is that I am focusing on constructor and then picking the drivers accordingly. So I went with McLaren. So I had to go slightly cheaper with driver, but
Haas had a decent showing, like
very
in the
decent.
race, like very decent showing in the race and the sprint. Sprint actually was way better. I think both of them won the points in the sprint.
Yeah.
And then in this thing as well, like good on home soil to have.
This was their best ever performance now on home soil in any kind of race for Haas, 7th and 8th in the sprint.
Amazing.
And what was it in the final race? Did they have one or both or no cars?
They had one in the points. I think Hulk was in the points.
Yeah, Hulk and
11th. Hulk was in the point.
And Magnussen just missed out. Franco again in the points, getting the 1 point for. I was quite surprised.
One interesting stat. This race had 16 different nationalities of drivers. 20 drivers.
Oh, really?
16 different nationalities. Like, if you think about it, the only repeat nationalities are UK, Spain, and France. And Australia. UK, Spain, France, and Australia are the only 4 countries that have repeat nationalities. And we are counting Alex Albon as Thai in this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So there's like Finland, China, Cola Pinto is Argentine.
Yeah.
Leclerc is Monegasque, so it's a separate country. You have to think of it as a separate country. then, you know.
Leclerc is
so,
honorary
yeah.
Italian only at this point.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah,
You can see him, he sings the anthem and everything.
And
It's-
sub coach, yeah,
Yeah.
so malum hai. Yeah.
But I think
great.
the nicest thing about always seeing Ferrari win, obviously, anthem by far for me the best out of all the international anthems, and the
True,
way they sing it, yeah, all of them,
Sing it,
with
Josh
full,
mein.
yeah.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah.
I've never
Lewis is
seen.
such a
also
sense of-
learning Italian for next year.
Yeah, I've never seen Mercedes team sing the German national anthem with like
With
you know,
that much
of
gusto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
koi nahi,
Oh, I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait for Lewis to be grazie ragazzi, guys.
yeah. But that passion, which is like that level of
Of-
national identity and
Yeah.
car company coming together, and no
Yeah.
other team has by
Yeah.
far.
All
Which-
the boys and girls in the Italian factory will be happy.
Yeah. What do you say for boys and girls in Italian?
Yeah.
It's all the boyos and girlos at the factorios.
yeah.
As Kirk in the chat says, Leclerc sang the Italian anthem and not the Monegasque anthem.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Webber, it is second Aussie because there's Oscar and Liam Lawson. No, Liam Lawson is New Zealand.
Lawson is New Zealand. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Correct,
exactly.
correct.
Yeah,
You're
so
right,
actually,
Vaibhav.
it is. You are absolutely right, Vaibhav. I was
It was
considering
two with Danny Rick. Yeah.
Rick, yes, of course. Yes, with Liam
Yes.
Lawson, he's from New Zealand. Yeah.
Yes. And we did have one super chat, which was, thank you so much. A big super chat from Ole Gunnar Kisker, who says, just for love the
Oh.
SidePod, Forza Ferrari. Yes. Forza
come
Ferrari,
on.
indeed.
That whole crazy theory that I just invented was for you, Ole Gunnar
Yes.
Keskar. Hopefully, it will happen. Yeah. Who knows?
But no, I think that about covers it. Very, very fun. Should we, just for fun, do predictions for, what is it, Mexico next or LA?
Yeah, Mexico.
Mexico.
Mexico, then Brazil, then Vegas. So basically,
Oh, okay.
for us, all late night races.
Oh, yeah, shit. No sleep.
Yeah.
For
Till the
next
time we
2
come
weeks.
to Qatar, which also is a night race only.
Yeah, and
So,
one of
but
us
it's
will
not like
have,
that.
have
Which
no
one
sleep.
of us will
Yeah.
we watch?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, one of us will be there. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will be fun.
So all these late night IST races. But Mexico, who do we think will win? Checo Perez? No. Fuck.
Oh, I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say Checo Perez last ever podium in Formula One. Checo Perez finishes third.
And retires.
Yeah,
and
third.
retires, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be sweet, actually. Yeah, last
Yeah.
ever podium in Formula
Yeah, just
One,
okay. Don't
probably,
make a
yeah.
race prediction 1, 2, 3. Just make a
Yeah.
prediction for the race.
A prediction, yeah.
I'm saying
I've
Checo
made my
Perez
prediction.
on the-
Max and Lando DNF at the start, turn one going into the first corner, but having qualified P1 and P2. In
But
what
that's
order, I
also a
don't know.
very cool thing about Mexico. If you look
Yeah.
at it, almost always the person who qualifies
Yeah.
third ends up being
Third,
first
yeah.
at the first
yeah,
corner.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
might just see like people sandbagging a little bit to not get pole.
No.
Because
After
it's
Piastri,
such a disadvantage to get pole. I'm not even
Yeah,
kidding
yeah.
in Mexico
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's such a long run
Such a
to the
long
line.
straight. Yeah,
So you'd
very
rather be
difficult
third.
to
And this Checo did last year only, na? He did this Hirogiri where he tried to go from the
Yeah.
outside
So
and ended up.
maybe it will be a McLaren sandwich with Oscar, this Max and Lando.
Who do you
Wait.
think will win?
Oh wait, sorry, we
Very
had
fast.
one more super
Lewis
chat.
Hamilton. No,
But
he's
yeah,
not
we'll
good.
give us a
Car is
prediction,
not
Sherry.
fast enough.
I mean, I would love a Lewis podium at this point. I just feel like it's been too long now. Not win, but even a podium I'll take at this point. Anything. Just as a, I feel like something has to happen
Instant.
before he leaves this team. Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah,
it's
he
just
needs
been
to have one, two high
disastrous.
moment. I
Just
mean, though,
one high. Like I mean, I feel
I
like
think
now.
Silverstone did it for the whole season.
Yeah.
I think
but it
Silverstone
feels
was
like it was
really
last
good.
year now. Yeah, I mean, like
One testimonial race they need to have for him.
Yeah,
just one as
But
the.
Silverstone, I think, was great. I think
That
he made up the
was,
quota
yeah.
in Silverstone. Yeah.
But I mean, I would like him to
Yeah.
move to another team on a bit of a high.
Like, like a win at Qatar would not have the same, like, taste
Effect.
as like the,
Yeah.
like Silverstone is like so cool. Like it would be,
Yeah.
And that's
Or Brazil.
there. But
Brazil would be great for him.
Yeah, he's
because
huge in Brazil.
in Brazil, right? And isn't he an
Yeah.
honorary?
Yeah,
they
he's an
haven't
honorary
given
citizen.
him
There you
yeah,
go.
they've given him
citizenship or something, right?
Yeah.
So 2 DNFs and through
Yeah.
goes Hamilton.
And through goes Hamilton. Yeah.
Leclerc
through
takes
goes
second.
Hamilton.
Chalo, no problem.
Second.
27 points
Yeah.
off. Siddhant had asked, do you think out of all
Hmm.
drivers that suffered in F1, is that it's the in-between generation of Bottas, Danny Rick, and Perez who came between Alonso and Max as like the main drivers? Well, there was also one Vettel. You could say between Vettel and
Yeah.
Max, probably.
Yeah. Between Vettel and Max, we are
But
looking
do we
at these
think
kind of drivers. But then,
realistically they would have been like if you took out
like you have the
Max?
likes of, remember, Romain Grosjean and all of these kind of
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Nico Hulkenberg is technically of that generation, and that, like, I mean,
Hmm.
slightly earlier than Danny
Yeah.
Rick. But
No, but
yeah,
okay,
of that ilk.
just to
Yeah,
create wild theories, speculation. So
yeah.
if we removed from F1 all the people who won the championships in the middle, so we'd remove 7 championships of Lewis, we remove sorry, 6 championships of Lewis, we get
Yeah.
rid of 3.5 currently championships of Verstappen.
Uh,
So then
and
who do we
Vettel.
see? And Vettel. So who are
Yeah.
we saying in this decade would then have been the winner? Do you think Bottas would have won titles at Mercedes? He did finish
Maybe.
second on so many times.
Yeah, maybe, but I didn't. I mean, I didn't have that. He didn't have that world.
I'd say
champion.
Alonso, guys. Alonso wins like
But he had
multiple world
shit. But he had
championships.
shit car always. No, for the last 10 years.
Yeah,
He was
I
in
mean, because-
Ferrari when
At Ferrari, probably you
because he
get more
kept
Alonso.
leaving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was at Ferrari when Vettel was winning those championships. 2012 is such a close championship.
Danny Rick,
know,
would he
that
figure? I don't
iconic-
think.
But I feel
don't
like
think.
Danny Rick also had a bad scene with Red Bull. Like if there was no Max, maybe he would have had a better
No,
scene.
Danny Rick's first season at Red Bull, when he comes and like kicks Vettel's ass in like 2014, I think.
No, I'm
yeah.
saying his issue started and ended with Max. So I mean, if
yeah,
there was no
yeah.
Max, then maybe
Yeah.
he'd
Danny
do
Rick is
well
a
for
very
year.
credible driver
Yeah.
for a world championship.
Well,
Yes, I
Leclerc
think
would have
so.
picked up, I think, a couple. But even then, the Ferrari was not
Yeah.
great for those years.
Yeah. But you're eliminating all these drivers and their teams also, or the teams are still
No,
there?
I'm saying even if the teams are there, like given the teams that they were in.
The cars, those same vehicles. You're
Yeah,
saying Lewis
yes.
doesn't win, but Nico is there. Then Nico wins, yeah. Nico wins
Yeah.
in that car.
So which is why I'm saying,
100%
yeah.
Nico wins in
But
that
I'm
car.
saying ki because these guys outperformed their cars by so much also, like guys like
Yeah,
Lewis
yeah.
and Max.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then
yeah,
in that case, would a Nico still have won if there was a
As
competing...
much.
Yeah.
Like one as much in terms of
Yeah.
like
Yeah, actually, the Nico era and the Ricardo at Red Bull era is the same time. Like, you know,
Yeah.
2014,
Yeah.
15, 16 is
Yeah.
Ricardo at Red Bull and Nico at Mercedes. And I think on overall, Ricardo was maybe better than Nico. Yeah, probably.
I mean,
And
it's
that car
tough,
was
yeah. It's such a combination of car,
Yeah.
mental strength, driving style, all of
That's
those
why I'm saying
things are-
Alonso. You gave Alonso whichever vehicle or whatever, you know, he's that guy that is getting the max out of it. Somehow or the other, Alonso
Yeah,
would
if you're
have won
taking,
if-
if you're taking
Yeah, if you're
Alonso
taking
and
Vettel out,
Lewis and Max
you're
and
taking
Lewis out of
Lewis
it, yeah,
out,
and Vettel, yeah.
you know, you're then 2007.
Leclerc, I would
who wins
still
that
say.
World championship. Of course, Alonso wins that
Yeah,
championship,
yeah.
right?
But yeah,
Yeah.
Leclerc would probably still be in the conversation for me.
Leclerc will be there in the more recent past, I'd say.
Best
You know, not in the-
best comment is Yashraj Jhala saying, if you took 19 drivers out, Perez would be on top.
Will Buxton. This is Will Buxton, not Yashraj. This is Will Buxton, guys. Yeah.
The evil Will Buxton. Will not Buxton. All right. But yeah, please smash a like, friends. Let's try to get to 500 likes overall for this episode. So even if you're watching after we were live, please smash a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. That's it for this week. We will return at some hopefully earthly hour after the next race in Mexico
Mexico.
now, no?
Mexico, yeah.
Mexico.
Oh, hey, we get to hear the Mexico.
The national
yeah,
anthem.
so-
No, not the anthem. The F1
yes,
music.
the mariachi band.
The mariachi version,
Mariachi
yeah.
band, yes.
I'll wake up
exactly.
just for that
And
at
which
2 a.m.
DJ will play on the stage this year, guys?
DJ's
Which DJ will
DJ
play?
Sangvi, yes. All right, friends. That's just me missing Mumbai now. All right, chalo. Goodbye, friends. We'll see you all soon. Happy weekend to you all. Weekend, is it? Yeah, it's midweek. So
No,
yeah,
no, it's
have a good.
Wednesday.
Midweek.
Yeah,
It's
so it's
Everybody's
midweek. No,
Wednesday.
working. You freelancers, nah, you guys don't know.
Arey, it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
you
yeah.
we are like literally 48 hours away from F1 weekend starting. So it's a weekend
Yeah,
only.
that's true. Yeah, sure.
So chalo, we will see you all next week. And yeah, have fun. We have one last minute super chat from Thakur Yogeshwar. Says Kota mein bacha first nahi aaya. Dad Verstappen sad. Very nice. This is management quota. All right. Okay. Chalo. Goodbye, friends. We will see you all soon. And yes, take care. See you soon. Have a good race weekend. And milenge most likely on Tuesday. This has been the SidePod. Goodbye.
Bye, bye,
Bye.
bye.